With us tonight, Andrew McCarthy, former assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, National Review contributing editor, Fox Business contributor. Great to have you with us. A terrific article in addressing this issue of the corruption that surrounded the FISA process, whether it be the FBI, the Justice Department, or the judges, in this case, of the FISA courts. It's got to be deeply painful for you. You spent so much of your time, your career, and your energy prosecuting the bad guys, and to find out there's so many bad guys in today's FBI, today's Justice Department, and the FISA courts. These are bad guys.
Well, what I feel worst about is that having done national security work, what you come to appreciate is, number one, there's many things that are more important than criminal procedures.
Right.
And number two, you can't really protect the country unless you can do certain things like keep secrets,
right.
Be able to take actions that need to be taken in order to protect the country. And there's secrecy that's attendant to all of that. And what that ends up meaning is, if we're going to have national security, the apparatus of the country that handles intelligence and that kind of stuff has to be able to look the public in the eye and say, you can trust us. And when things like this happen, what I always get afraid of is the public is going to, number one, say, why should we trust you? I worry that the powers that we actually need to have to protect the country are going to be pried back because people show themselves not to be worthy of them. And that's when bad stuff happens. I mean, that's when you become vulnerable.
We have had such bad things, though, happen, Andy, whether it's September 11th, whether it is a war against Iraq, when the perpetrators were in Saudi Arabia and Afghanistan. We have had 3 successive administrations that lied to us, that were incompetent. They were every bit as incompetent as they were corrupt. The Obama administration, it will live in infamy for what it did just in one instance, and that with, of course, the nuclear deal with Iran. This is, and by the way, a second horror would be what the president who failed to enforce a red line that resulted in 5 million refugees out of Syria and set off a cataclysm in Europe. But the reality here seems to be that the people should never trust their government. There should never be absolute trust. Well, there should always be a questioning media. There should always be a questioning public and citizenry.
I've always thought, Lou, that the genius of the system is that, and the framers were ingenious in this way, we don't rely on the good faith and honor of the people who hold public office. We hope to get it. We hope that we are going to elect virtuous people. But what actually the system is based on is this idea that nobody can be trusted and everybody's got to be checked and watched. And
so where's the check on the FBI?
Well, the problem, I worry that the checks and balances in the system are designed for a system that's more modest than the one that we now have.
Smaller government.
Well, it doesn't need to be small, but it needs to be limited in the sense that we want it to be big in the big things we need it to do, but it's got to be checked. It has to be checked.
For example, I don't understand how people can talk about the number of FBI agents we have.
Right. About 13,000 or thereabouts.
And you got 30,000 within the Department of Justice.
Right.
But think back to when we were in a life and death struggle with Marxist-Leninism and the Soviet Union. How many fewer we had, and how much more effective they were. And what have we got now? We have an unquestioning acceptance of an FBI. No one knows what the heck they do in law enforcement anymore because they don't do much. In point of fact, they have interposed themselves, as has the Homeland Security Department, between the first responders, that is local law enforcement, where they used to be in support of law enforcement. It is a screw up of massive proportions. Add to that the toxic corruption that is represented throughout justice and FBI. It's horrifying.
Well, one of the arguments I always made against the idea of treating national security problems like terrorism as if they were law enforcement problems, is the only way you can bring those problems into the system is by eviscerating the line that used to be a pretty bright line between what really is law enforcement criminal procedure and what you need other measures for. And that's a big part of what we've lost.
In support of what you're saying, it's almost as if the FBI, and taking them as an example, and they're not unfortunately alone in this example, but because of a significant portion of their resources and manpower being devoted to national security issues, right, that they have somehow taken the trappings of all of that and applied it to their conduct and their operations and their procedures, in which should remain secretive. Law enforcement has taken a back seat. Their activity within the body politic, whether it, I mean, they're not involved in, frankly, in criminal illegal immigrants either being arrested or tried. They're on some sort of secret mission all of their own. The FBI has become unrecognizable in its lack of values. The institution has just torn itself to pieces. And by the way, 3 successive presidents have presided over that.
Well, let me just speak up, though, for my own experience, which has always been that whatever was going on in headquarters, the rank and file of the FBI has always been very effective and tried to go about its business in a
untainted by headquarters.
No, not untainted by them, but sometimes you know, fighting tooth and nail against headquarters.
When I say untainted, and I can see you with your heart reaching out to the old institution that you serve, and we appreciate that. But this is not the same institution. It's not the same people, and the leadership sure as hell isn't the same. These are the smallest people imaginable that we could have at the top of those once storied institutions. They have become a blight on this society, a burden on our people and against citizens, and we don't know where the national security interests rest because, frankly, those intelligence agencies that include the FBI have so skewered it that there is just, I don't know if it's ever retrievable.
Well, the only way what's called the swamp can be undone is if we get Congress back into being an actual Congress that checks executive excess, that's for sure.
I think Chris Farrell has got it exactly right. I think you've got to take apart the FBI because as long as they are there, the deep state is armed and dangerous. Andy McCarthy, thank you. And we recommend his most recent column to you in the National Review Online. Thank you, sir. Great to have you with us.
Great to be here.
How did we get into that conversation?
It was uplifting, though, don't you think?
It couldn't be my fault. And yes, and our Pastor Tom, told us Sunday to keep it very positive.
Yeah.
Tweets and all things else. Oh, boy, where am I headed? Thanks so much.